Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I have been wanting to film this video for a very long time, and I finally just got down and did it after I, kind of came up with a really solid plan of how I was going to do it, of how I was going to attack it. This isn't really like an attacking video. It's not like that. It's not that serious, but it's pretty serious. So as the title suggests, this is like my flawless face routine. As you can see, there is no blush in this look. There is no highlight in this look. I have no mascara. I have no eyeshadow. I have on a lip gloss, but that's because lip gloss, and I have on eyebrows because eyebrows, you can't really go without eyebrows. But yeah, there isn't anything crazy in this look. It's definitely not a completed makeup look, but I wanted to make this video because I wanted to do kind of like an updated flawless foundation routine, but mix it in with like my flawless base routine, as in how I contour, how I bronze, how I conceal, how I put on foundation, how I pick my foundation, why I pick that foundation, how I pick my primers, why I pick that primer, how I kind of take care of my skin when I need a makeup that is going to last me, that is going to be foolproof, that I can trust, that I know will stay in place. I use products that I know I can trust. I use methods that I know I can trust, and I really just wanted to hand all these tips and tricks and products down to you. That is what I'm here for. That is my job. And all of these products I completely 100% trust. I even involve some skincare in there because skincare really is the ultimate perfect base for any makeup. If you want your makeup to look good, you better take care of your skin, because your skin is, the actual base. Your skin is the actual foundation. Foundation isn't the actual foundation. Primer isn't even the actual foundation. Your skin is the actual foundation. So I went ahead and included like some skincare tips in there as well. I know you guys see it in tutorials all the time, but I never really go in depth. So this video I tried to go as in depth as I possibly could. It is going to be a mixture of a talk through and a voiceover, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too long. I wanted to kind of be quick and to the point. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just a makeup that you can build on top of, and that will be bulletproof for you, because it is something that I can build on top of and do anything with this base, with this look, and I can trust it to look good and to accentuate anything and to work with everything. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and let's just get straight into it. Alright, to start off today, I went ahead and just used a exfoliating mask. This is the Dollface Little Black Mask. I like to use masks because they really deep clean your face, exfoliate, and just provide a nice soft surface for your makeup to lay on, as well as a clean one, which if you're oily like me, this will help your makeup last a lot longer. It's a clean surface. Next step is of course to moisturize. I'm using the Dr.Brandt Extend Your Youth Face Cream. I talked about this moisturizer on my channel before, and honestly I love it so much because it is pretty hydrating, but it's so amazing. It gets absorbed really quickly. I know I haven't had these products for long, but that just tells you how obsessed I am with these. This is just amazing for applying your makeup over. It just absorbs into the skin so well. And this one is just incredible. I love this to prime and I love this to set. This is just a great spray in general. They've definitely become like holy grail items that I know I can trust and I just love. For foundation, I was kind of torn. I know this is like my ultimate everyday, not everyday, but this is my ultimate go-to base makeup. So this basically has to be like my holy grail foundation, my holy grail primers, my holy grail products that I know will give me a solid base for me to apply my makeup over. But it was actually kind of hard for me to decide what foundation. My favorite foundation, I think of all time at the moment, is my Dream Liquid Mousse foundation. This isn't matte. This isn't made for oily skin specifically, but it is oil free, and it just gives such an airbrush, natural, not matte, not dewy finish. It's such a gorgeous foundation, but I don't find this to be very long wearing. Another one that I always reach to, this is like more of my everyday foundation all the time. I just know I can trust this foundation, my Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I love this foundation because it doesn't give you a stark matte finish. It gives you a very natural finish. It's right in the middle of dewy and matte, but the coverage is perfect for me. I I like the medium coverage and it leaves a very natural coverage. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look heavy. The only reason I'm not going to be using this one today is because I'm actually going to have a very long day today and I need my makeup to stay on all day long. And this foundation tends to break up for me after about hour 6. Again, why this is more of an everyday foundation, because after 6 hours this does tend to break up on me. So I'm opting for something a little bit more long wearing, but I absolutely love this foundation. Love both of these foundations, and they're both from the drugstore and they're both very affordable. The foundation that I'm going to go with, because I am going to have a long day, and this is a foundation that I tend to go towards every time I know I'm going to have a long day and I need my makeup to wear for at least 12 hours, look no further. The only thing about this foundation is if you do not like a matte face, I would not use this foundation. This is a very matte foundation, but it's very long wearing. It is a demi matte finish. It says on here on the back that it is a demi matte finish, but honestly on me it's pretty matte, but throughout the day it tends to look more and more natural. The first 2 hours I have it on though, it's completely matte. Like there's no oil coming through anything, but the longer it wears, obviously the more oil seeps through, the more natural it starts to look, but it never breaks up and looks cakey. I'm such a big fan of this foundation. I love this foundation. It is a 24-hour foundation. It's a medium coverage and the texture is pretty light. It doesn't feel like a full coverage or a medium coverage. It feels more like a sheer coverage foundation, but it gives you the more medium to full coverage. And I've built this up before and I've never had a problem. So I'm going to be opting for this foundation today because this is my flawless face base foundation. This one is in the shade Natural Beige 105. I love this foundation. If you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know I love this foundation. I love it. And my favorite way to apply this foundation is I just dot it on my face, and I personally like to go in with a damp sponge. I'm going to be using my Real Techniques Miracle Blending Sponge or something like that. I don't know. You can find this at the drugstore. You can find this at Ulta. Very affordable. Amazing. You do have to work kind of fast with this foundation because it is a matte foundation. It does tend to dry up quicker, and once it starts to dry up, it obviously makes it a lot harder to blend out. So just keep that in mind. If you've never tried this foundation before and you're thinking of purchasing it, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you what another layer would look like. So this is going to go from medium to full coverage, but not super full coverage. It's still going to look very natural. I'm just going to grab another little dollop and place it where I want that extra coverage, which for me is my cheek on this area. There's a lot of discoloration, but obviously we got to balance it out, and I'll just put it on the other side and on my chin. And again, I'm just going to layer this foundation with my sponge. I'm super okay with this coverage, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I really like how this looks. So from here, I would go straight onto my concealer. My concealer wasn't really that hard to pick from. I do have a lot of concealers that I love, and even though I've gotten a lot of new concealers, a lot of new high-end concealers that I love, I really haven't put them through the ringer yet, so to speak. And I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys one that I absolutely trust, that I've been using for years, and that is just my baby. And I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm going to talk about. It is my NYX HD Concealer, and I'm using the shade CW03. The reason I love this concealer is because not only does it photograph really well and it is HD and all that good stuff, but the coverage and the consistency is so great with this foundation. And in this particular shade, because it has a peachy undertone, it really counteracts the darkness that you may have under your eyes. So you can really skip a step with color correcting if you're somebody that has to do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place this concealer the way I normally would, which you guys know I do kind of like a triangle under my eyes. I place the majority of the product like right here, which is where most of my darkness likes to hide, and then I just kind of spread it around from there. I love the consistency of this concealer. It blends out so well. I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. It's from the drugstore. It's really affordable, and it is such a good concealer. I want to say it's like an underrated concealer, but I actually hear a lot of people talk about it, and I like like to take it down my nose. One, because I like the highlight. Two, because I like the extra coverage on my nose. Again, because my nose tends to get the most oily. It's just another layer, which really helps. And then I have a lot of darkness around my mouth on the corners, so I just kind of like to lightly hit those areas, and then make sure to hit the sides of my nose where, because as women tend to get red, I get red, so I like to combat that. And then I like to grab this sponge and blend it out. I also really like to take it up to my eyelids because I like to prime my eye makeup with my concealer. I just find that that works best for me. It helps me skip a step as well, but also because I kind of feel more human once my eyelids match like the rest of my skin. Because see how this one looks, and I look like, I don't know, it's a magical moment for me. Concealer's just magical for me, period. Now moving on to setting the concealer. Setting the concealer is very important so your concealer doesn't crease or move throughout the day. This is especially important if you have oily skin and your skin has a lot of fine lines. And the way I like to approach this is by taking that same damp sponge we have been using throughout this whole video and just taking that sponge into the powder and putting the powder onto your skin directly with that sponge and just letting it melt into your skin. You can use a brush, but I found that this is just way more bulletproof. And then for the rest of the face, I just take a big fat fluffy brush and set my entire face with that same powder. If you don't like a very matte foundation or a matte base, I would absolutely skip this step, but I get oily throughout the day, so I like this step because it just adds another layer, so my skin ends up by the end of the day looking natural, not like a freaking grease monster. Because I hate looking like a grease monster 4 hours into wearing my makeup, because then I'm like, I put all that work in for nothing. So for me, I like this extra layer of protection, so my oils, when they seep through, it looks more natural and not like a greasy like chicken. Another reason I really like this step personally is because I find that when I'm applying like my bronzer or my blush, my powders won't skip when blending, because a powder against another powder just makes it easier to blend than a powder on top of a liquid. And even though this foundation does tend to dry matte, there's areas where it might be a little bit more wet and it'll grab onto your powder differently, and that's when it'll skip, that's when it'll look more chalky, that's when it'll look a lot more messy and muddy, and I don't like that. So I personally really like to just give myself a light dusting of powder because it's not a lot and I don't apply a lot of pressure, so I'm not like packing the powder in. I'm just giving like a nice light dusting basically with the tip of my brush, and this helps, you know, my powders blend out better and everything at the end of the day to look a lot more natural. Now moving on to contouring. I don't really contour. If you guys follow my channel, you guys know that I'm not really big into really cutting my cheeks all the time. I prefer a more natural look. I don't really feel like I need to. Like, I know I have kind of like a round face, but I don't really, you know, feel the need to always cut my cheekbones. But if you're somebody that is into that, do you guys. This is like my flawless base for makeup, but this doesn't necessarily have to be yours. Like, you guys can custom this to whatever you guys would like. There are days where I do like to contour for certain makeup looks or certain events or certain when I know some pictures are going to be taken or something like that. There's days where I do opt to look a lot more chiseled. I'm just saying for an everyday, I don't prefer that. But on days that I do, my holy grail contour powder has to be my Hoola Benefit bronzer. This is a bronzer, but it is so perfect to contour for me because it's not so ashy, but it's also not so warm. You can absolutely bronze with this, but you can actually really contour with this. It's just an amazing powder. At least on my skin tone, it does both things in my opinion beautifully. And I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this e.l.f. $1 brush. It's a very thin angled brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and contour a little tiny bit. I'm gonna show you guys how I usually contour. I like to place the brush right there, and then I kind of like to swoop like this to really cut the cheek, and then I just kind of blend out from there. You see how I did that line? I just kind of follow it. And of course, always rule of thumb, blend up, not down. And I like to bring it to around here. And I go ahead and do the same thing to my jawline. And now to the other side. Sometimes I even turn my brush to the side. and just do that kind of sweeping motion. And then I like to hit under my chin. And then with whatever is left, I don't, you know, ever really dip back in to contour my nose because I don't really contour my nose. With whatever is left on the brush, I just, you know, run it down the sides. And then on the very tippy tip, again, I don't really do much nose contouring. If you guys are new to my channel, hi, welcome. I don't really do a lot of nose contouring. But if you guys are OGs, you guys know this nose is basically what it is. And then with whatever's left, I just kind of hit my temples a little bit. Blend one more time. I think that's just because I'm OCD. And then that is it for my contour. Again, like I said, I don't really do much contouring, guys. But to bronze, which is one of my favorite things to do in the whole entire world, is to put on bronzer. I was debating which bronzer to use. When it came to contour powder, hands down, this was like the easiest pick. For bronzer, I kind of had to think about it because I've discovered new bronzers through the years. But I honestly just had to stick with one that I knew, guys. Like I said, this is going to be just a video of me showing you guys like my holy grail products that I love, that I know I can trust, that I know will never really fail on me. And those other bronzers just haven't gotten there yet, but this has been there and this has held the throne. I've talked about this on my channel so many times. This is a bronzer that I absolutely love. It's actually my Milani face powder, and I'm pretty sure this is like a foundation powder. So this isn't technically a bronzer, but it is from the drugstore, so it's very affordable. And honestly, guys, if it works, it works. Just because it's labeled something doesn't mean you have to use it for that one thing. I absolutely love this to bronze. It's so beautifully like orange and just perfect, and along with my skin tone, I just feel like it just works really well. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use an e.l.f. complexion brush and really blend out that contour, and again, keep it above this line. And I kind of do go crazy with bronzer because I like a really nice sun-kissed, you know, bronzed face. And for bronzing, I just basically do the same exact thing. I just do the 3 as I did with the contour. I just do it with a more orange bronzer and a fluffier brush. I just love a good bronzer so much, and this is such a good bronzer. Again, this is the Milani The Multitasker Face Powder in the color 07 Dark Tan. And this is an e.l.f. Studio brush. I think this cost me like $3 at Target. It's a really good brush. I really like this to bronze. It's like nice and dense and fluffy and really soft. And then I sometimes, most of the times I do this on an everyday basis. You don't really see me do this on camera because most of the time on camera I'm already doing an eye look. But most of the times, when I'm not really doing like a heavy eyeshadow, I go into my bronzer with a really big fluffy brush and I just kind of run this into my crease just to kind of, you know, match the rest of my face and to give my eyes some life again. And it doesn't really do much, honestly. Like, you can't really even tell I have anything in my eyelid or on my eyelids, but it just, to me, it ties in the look and it adds a little something without really doing much. Like I said, you're not really doing much. And that is basically my flawless face base routine, my flawless foundation routine, my flawless face base routine. This is the base that I like to go to when I begin, you know, all my makeup looks. These are the products that I trust. These are the techniques that I always use. These are just like my holy grail methods and products. One thing I can probably add is probably a gloss because I do always tend to go to glosses. I might as well just do that. I'm gonna go ahead and add a gloss to this look just, you know, for funsies. I just got these from Mally. They're absolutely gorgeous. These were sent to me and I've been obsessed with this nude one, but this glossy one is really catching my attention, and I don't really want like a color. I kind of just want to add a little something because I feel really weird with this full like face on and nothing on my lips. So, and let's get real, I use a lip gloss 90% of the time. Every day, tutorial, filming or not, I always go more towards lip gloss. And these from Mally are really good. I got them in a set, and this is the H3 lip gloss trio, and this color is the color Tea Rose, and it's gorgeous. After this, I would obviously go in and do my eyeshadow. I would then add my blush, I would add my highlight, and then I would set it off with a setting spray. And if you guys are wondering what setting spray I'd use this guy. It says primer spray, but I use it to set all the time and it works. But yeah, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got something out of it. Like I said, I do these videos to help you guys, to pass down my tips and my tricks and all the methods that I've, you know, acquired throughout the years of me playing with makeup. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of it, and I will catch you in the next one.